My name's Peter Lovell. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition for Jagex Game Studios. We're here now sort of really pushing the relaunch of the Jagex brand, the third age of Jagex. We're the creators of RuneScape, and that's been a tremendous journey for us to go on over the last 16 years. 16-year-old game that's still out there, still relevant. You know, literally hundreds of thousands of loyal players right now, 250 million accounts in the course of its lifetime. Real kind of cultural phenomenon. So I'm pleased to be coming back now, leading the charge on bringing people in for the next stage. We're looking, aggressively to hire really across every single level. We've got really bold sort of growth plans. We've got really ambitious plans for the future in terms of the products we're looking to launch and exciting kind of sort of prospects that we're looking to partner with and acquire and all that. So really exciting time for the company. Personally, like a crazy exciting time for me because I started out at Jagex Game Studio in recruitment. I spent 8 years there and then left Jagex as the head of talent acquisition to join Natural Motion Zynga for 2 years. Had an incredible time there. Absolutely amazing, kind of cutting edge of mobile development. Really, really powerhouse kind of people around me and great networks, great connections. And then the lure of coming back to the place where I crafted myself and really kind of learned everything I know at this really wonderful time for the organisation was just really, really strong and wonderful. So to come back, to be blessed to be given the opportunity to come back to the place where I developed and lead this charge for the company that I grew up in is just like blown me away. So a really nice time for me personally, but a fantastic time for the company. And it's just great to be grabbed like this and to talk about it, dude. So
what kind of, I got a couple questions. What kind of like skills and experience, because you kind of like shifted a little bit going to Zynga, like that's kind of a more mobile casual thing, and then kind of coming back. And I did something in my career where I kind of worked on like a PSN game, a kind of indie game, then worked on a mobile game, and then back to indies. And I'm just kind of curious, like recruitment-wise, what kind of skills and experiences are you kind of taking from that time at Zynga back to Jagex?
Absolutely. So, I mean, a lot of what we're doing now at Jagex are under the surface, certainly, as well as kind of some of the more public-facing stuff that you'll see on our website is very much kind of next-gen, very much looking at skills that are necessary and valuable in both the mobile, AAA mobile development, certainly where I was at Natural Motion, and what we're looking to do. There's a huge synergy there. So in those 2 years at Natural Motion Zynga, different culture, really, really fast-paced, amazing high-performance culture, amazingly well-connected organisation with not just Natural Motion, but the global reach of something like Zynga with all the, massive global reach of the EA, ex-EA guys that have come in there over the years and whatnot. It just expanded my kind of understanding of and contact book related to the right people that we need to bring in, and they're all very, very similar. And in terms of skill sets, the usual kind of programming skill set, technical artistry, all that kind of stuff. But Jagex really, because it's all under one roof at the moment, our kind of HQ, we're looking for the entire range of individuals from top level to bottom, from marketing commercial to the most unbelievably fanatically like super nerdy geeky kind of programmer guys and gals, and just kind of bringing it all together under one roof is really, really great. Everything's done there, from 1 minute you're walking past the most commercially aware kind of like out there reaching kind of marketing people, the next minute you're in like some sort of gamer cave dungeon with people that are just like, this is how we do things. It's really,
just
really
head down.
Exactly. It's like a quest every day, kind of going through the place and leveling up as you get further and further to the top, where it's all the game development teams and all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot there, and I wanted to bring that back. And just recruitment's all about people, meeting people, being open about what we're looking to do and allowing people to help us by spreading the word as well. So if we know great people now that know that they have friends who are looking for great jobs, we take that.
So you kind of have like a recommendation-based system?
Internally, absolutely. My entire recruiting philosophy is that everybody's a recruiter. Internal people have got the names in their minds of people that they would recommend. Recommendations are a really strong driver to a strong kind of company culture, really binds it together. But externally, people who know they're great people, that they're great friends that can contribute to the company. I love hearing that information, and you only get that by being kind of trusted and acting in the right way. And
how do you kind of inquire about that, like with the team? Because
just like genuinely, quite casually. There's no magic to it with me personally. I just
so you're just waiting out there by the water cooler and going.
Exactly. I think my recruiting philosophy really is very much being a very visible, very out there, kind of extravagant, kind of happy-go-large kind of brand, I guess, for a team that I would lead. I expect that from all of them, and we want to make sure that we're the essence of an embedded, integrated recruiting team within a company, not one that's sat in a different office and doesn't really know the staff. It's like we live and breathe with these people, we suffer their pains, we share their successes, we're amongst them when things go right and things go wrong, and because of that, we're trusted with the most valuable thing that people can offer, which is their friends' trust. If they know somebody that can succeed here, and we get that name, that's wonderful. I really think it kind of boils down to that, really, and just a kind of philosophy around being not a territorial recruiter as such, but just a person who's got the pleasure of bringing connections in that are valuable to an organisation. It's a very different sort of mentality, I think.
Yeah, so you seem like a very social guy. I'm kind of curious.
Hence the voice that's gone by. That's 4 days.
You've been very social this week.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious, how you transition that kind of social connection. Mm-hmm. Like you meet somebody at a conference, you kind of get along well, and how you kind of transition that to can they code?
That's the follow-up sort of stuff, right? So conferences, events is a great place to kind of just get to know the individual, I think. And you get, I live on LinkedIn, so outside of all the kind of extrovert, kind of bombastic stuff that I am as a kind of person, I'm a recruiter nerd, so I'm on my LinkedIn's, I'm on my CV databases, I've got all the systems that you build in recruitment to follow up on that stuff, and that all comes into it afterwards. So after this event right now, 4 days here, there's going to be 2 weeks of just deep diving into that. I'll be following up on
stack of business cards.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff, right? It sounds so old school, but that's still the way it works for me. And I think as a kind of totally side road, recruitment's lost its sense of self a lot, because with a lot of other companies, both in games and outside of it, it's now just about sit behind a desk and fire out the emails from faceless kind of people. That's not what it should be. I like the 1960s cocktail party style networking, and that sort of thing really is important to knowing guys like George that you just bump into all over the world and catch up with, and then bring it all back together when you get back to the base, and see where those opportunities lead to.
What's it like having a booth, and kind of what are the kind of do's and don'ts you see? Because you've probably done it before. You have a booth and you're talking to people. What's kind of a good do's and don'ts for people coming up and
my key philosophy for any booth like this, and anyone I've ever run, is no hard sell. Don't hard recruitment sell again. It's the same thing. It's just an opportunity for people to come and realise that behind all of the online digital presence, we're human beings, we're just nice, we don't get into super deep chats at this kind of first touch point level. We've had so many wonderful students and grads coming up to the booth, and we're going to have an opportunity to form that kind of first point of contact in games. So it's about not scaring people off at this point, not sort of exposing how difficult our application process might be, which it isn't, by the way, but all that kind of stuff. It's just get to know them, make sure that you bond, and that person leaves thinking, God, what a great group of people and a great company, and I'd like to follow up more on that. And then that's when it all kicks in next week straight afterwards.
And if I was a student or grad and I wanted to work there, and I'm at this conference, what's the best way to come up to you guys?
So like what's been going on, really, just popping up to the booth, having a little sort of nice happy chat about opportunities that we've got and what we're looking to do in the future. A lot of them drop off their CVs with us. We give out our details, let's connect next week. We explain kind of our graduate kind of recruiting process, like programming tests that they might want to do, all that kind of stuff that kind of bring them into the actual applicant tracking system that we've got back at Basecamp to go for the next steps and interviews and all that kind of thing. But again, it's just come to us, have a chat with us. None of us are monsters. We all like talking to people. Just have a kind of happy-go-lucky, go out there approach to it, and we'll follow up in the next steps, straight afterwards, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, thanks. Is there anything? Thanks for being on the question bus.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was totally surreal. Just grabbed a microphone, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of them are, is I haven't really met them, or I just kind of walk up and meet them and kind of...
I do wish I'd met you 3 days ago when I had a voice. And,
it's cool.
I wasn't absolutely shattered, after the 4 days, but
it's got texture now.
Good, so, love it,
Yeah, is there anything else you want to plug?
Not at all. I think I've said most of what I wanted to say there. Just that Jagex Game Studios is really about to go big on the gaming scene again, and I think given that we are such a titan of the games industry, certainly in the free to play sort of MMO space, it's really nice to see us going out there again and rising and putting ourselves about a bit. So.
And if a listener wanted to work there,
www.jagex.com/careers, or just find me on LinkedIn, Peter Lovell. You can't miss me on there, and ping me a message. I just like connecting.
Are you on Twitter as well?
@TheShove. Yeah, but Twitter's more of a personal thing. But at @the_shove SHOV, yeah, follow me on Twitter and explore some of my great mind rants.
Yeah, well, thanks, and hope you have a good rest of the conference.
Thanks, dude.